right, you know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage, it's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So today, we've got a nice quick 4-rounder for you here. We're going to be doing 4 rounds of 20 calories on the row, 10 kettlebell clean and jerks, and a 25-foot kettlebell overhead lunge. We may be looking at this thinking, I don't have a rowing machine. That overhead lunge move is kind of crazy and kind of challenging for me. Don't worry, guys. As always, we're going to warm up really well. And we're going to go through all the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it. Right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. But let's go ahead and start the general warm-up, which is going to activate the muscles that we are using in today's workout. And the first move we're going to do is bird dogs. And let's go ahead and have Pippi demonstrate 2 bird dogs for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the bird dogs are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 bird dogs together. Now, it may be that this is a bit hard on the wrists and the knees, in which case we may choose to do the dead bug. And let's have Pippi demonstrate here. That's going to be where we're laying on our back and we've got the arms in the air, knees in the air, and then we are lowering opposite arm, opposite leg, while keeping the other arm and leg stationary. But if we're doing the bird dog as prescribed, we're on hands and knees. We are raising opposite arm, opposite leg, holding the top for about 2 seconds before switching sides. So good job here on these bird dogs or dead bugs, whichever version is better for you. Next, we've got the dynamic calf stretch, and let's have twin 1 demonstrate 2 reps on each leg for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then we're actually going to do some dynamic elbows like this. So let's all join in here and let's do 10 dynamic calf stretch on each side. And so this also may be a bit hard for us on our wrists if we do it off the ground, in which case we could also do this off of an inclined surface. Let's have twin 1 demonstrate here. And so it could be off a counter, off a sofa, or even off a wall, but we'll be in an inclined pike position, bending the one knee, pushing the back heel into the ground. But if we're doing this off the ground as prescribed, we are piking those hips up, bending the one knee, pushing that back heel into the ground, holding that for about 2 seconds to really feel the calf and ankle activation before switching sides. So good job here on the dynamic calf, whichever version is better for you. Next, we've got some good mornings, and let's go ahead and have Ash demonstrate 2 good mornings for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the good mornings are going to look like this. So let's all join in here and let's do 10 good mornings together. So on the good morning, we are standing with the feet just about hip width apart. We've got those arms folded across the chest. And then we're going to take a deep breath in and brace that core as we send those hips back with a slight bend in the knees until we get that chest to just about parallel with the ground. And then we're going to squeeze those glutes until we get all the way back up to a fully standing, locked out position. So good job here on these good mornings. Next, we've got some lunges. So let's have Pippi demonstrate 2 lunges for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the lunges are going to look like this. So let's all join in here and let's do 10 lunges together. Now, it could be that getting the knee all the way to the ground is a bit of a challenge, in which case we've got some options here. We can do some assisted lunges, holding on to a nearby sturdy object. Let's have Pippi demonstrate here. We could be holding on to a sturdy piece of furniture or a pole or whatever the case. And we could either choose to step forward or do the reverse lunge, but we're going to take a big step and slightly to the side until the back knee touches the ground, and then perhaps turning around after 5 reps to even things out. Or it could be that step-ups are a better option for us, just like we see Millicent doing here. We're going to get both feet up, both feet down, and we want a nice sturdy surface that we feel comfortable stepping up onto. It could be a footstool, it could be a low plyo box or a sturdy coffee table, or even some stairs if that's a better option. But if we're doing the lunge as prescribed, we're taking a big step forward, slightly to the side for stability until the back knee touches the ground. And notice the knee protection. Twin One is using a lunge mat there. And we've got Ash as well, taking a big step forward, slightly to the side, getting that knee to the ground, pushing off the heel until we get all the way back up, feet together at the top. So good job here on these lunges or step ups, whichever version is better for you. Next, we're going to grab a super light kettlebell. We mean 10 pounds or less, 5 kilos or less. If we don't have a light kettlebell, maybe we have a light dumbbell, we could use that for now. Or we could use any other light, common household object. So with this kettlebell in hand, we're going to do some single arm deadlifts with the object starting between the feet. And let's go ahead and have Pippi demonstrate 2 reps for us on the same arm. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then those single arm deadlifts are going to look like this. So let's all join in here and let's do 10 deadlifts, 5 on each arm. So on these deadlifts, that object is starting on the ground in between the feet. And we've got those hips super low, chest is up, shoulders back. We're looking straight ahead. And we're going to take a deep breath in and brace that core as we drive the ground away, getting to a fully standing position with the shoulders back at the top. And of course, we're bracing that core on the way back down as well. So good job here on these deadlifts, whichever version is better for you. And finally, we've got some strict press, and let's go ahead and have Ash demonstrate 2 reps of the strict press for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the strict press is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the strict press, 5 on each arm. So on this strict press, we want the kettlebell resting underneath the handle on our forearm, but most importantly, we actually want it on the chest, or at least the forward part, the front part of the shoulder. From there, we are pressing it up, getting that arm back into the ear. And with this positioning, that's a much stronger position. And we are getting the full range of motion out of this motion here. And we're having the other arm out for balance. But yes, we're getting that arm up and back, getting the bicep into the ear at the top of the motion. And so good job here on this strict press. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 3 moves that we are doing in today's workout. The first move that we're doing is the row. So if you happen to have a rowing machine, what I'd like you to do is to hop on that machine, and we're going to do about a 1-minute test here. And if we have a damper or a resistance, we can put that at the lowest level. It's always good to get our warm-up row with the lowest level of resistance. But we're going to work on our technique. We're going to use those legs, hit that big lean. We're going to hit that pull toward the upper part of the chest, and then a nice big punch in the recovery. But most of us don't have these machines. We're the machines. We're going to do an at-home modification for the row that preserves the stimulus of driving with the legs and pulling on the handle. We're going to do some kettlebell sumo deadlift high pulls. And let's have Twin 1 demonstrate 4 reps of the sumo deadlift high pull for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the sumo deadlift high pull is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the sumo deadlift high pull together. So on the sumo deadlift high pull, this object is starting on the ground in between the feet. We've got the hips low, chest up, shoulders back like we're hiking that football. But then we're going to take a deep breath in, bracing that core, driving the ground away, getting the elbows high and outside at the top of the motion like a scarecrow. But then we're keeping it close to the body on the way back down as well. And it's definitely very important for us to understand we want to go legs first, then arms. We're hitting that full stand, popping that object with the power of the hips and the legs, and then the arms are finishing, getting it into place at the top of the movement. So good job here on these high pulls or the row, whichever version works better for us. The second move that we're doing in today's workout is kettlebell clean and jerks. And let's go ahead and have Twin 1 demonstrate 2 reps of the clean and jerk on the same arm for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the clean and jerk is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the clean and jerk, 5 on each arm. So on this clean and jerk, it's understood with kettlebells, it's just a naming thing, that the movement is actually a hang power clean into a push jerk. So we're not tapping the ground, we're initiating by throwing that object back between the legs, using the power of the glutes and the legs to pop it up to the shoulders, and then from there, we pop and punch overhead. And another thing about kettlebells is we don't alternate each rep like we might do with a dumbbell sometimes. We're going to do 5 reps straight through on one arm before switching and doing 5 on the other arm. So good job here on these kettlebell clean and jerks. The third move that we're doing in today's workout is the overhead lunge, and we're actually going to practice this without any weight for now. We're going to use just our fist in the air, and let's have Pippi demonstrate 4 reps of the overhead lunge with the same fist in the air. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then I'd like us to have the kettlebell in one arm overhead, and we're actually going to have a light dumbbell in the other, and we're going to do overhead position with one arm and then hitting the curl with the other. 5 on each side. So let's all join in here and let's do 10 practice reps with the overhead lunge, 5 with each fist in the air. Now, preferably today, what we're doing is the walking lunge variation of this. And let's have twin 1 show us what that looks like. We'd be starting from one side, fist in the air, taking nice big steps, slightly to the side for stability until the back knee touches the ground each time. But it could be that this range of motion is very challenging for us, or we just don't have the space. So we could do the in-place lunge that was demonstrated earlier, or we could do some step-ups like we see Millicent doing here and still practicing the overhead position if that's appropriate for your circumstances. Or we could even do those assisted lunges that we were doing at the start in the warm-up. Let's have Pippi demonstrate a couple reps here. So we'd have one arm holding onto a close-by object for assistance, and optionally we have the other arm overhead. And it should be noted, if we're doing any version of a modified or assisted version of this lunge, then let's not add weight to this motion. We are definitely going to practice just getting the full range of motion, fist in the air. And so good job here on these overhead lunges, whichever version is better for you. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been earning badges and you'd like to add some weight to at least the clean and jerk to do the scaled intermediate or RX weight and possibly the overhead lunge, it could be that in today's workout, we're still working on a stable overhead position. We need to see that arm locked out straight. We need to see no bend in the elbow whatsoever. We need to see full range of motion getting that knee to the ground if we're thinking about adding weight to the overhead lunge. If we're still struggling with any portion of that, let's use less weight or no weight at all on those overhead lunges. And perhaps we can challenge ourselves on the weight of the clean and jerk if we've been earning badges. And then either way, if we haven't been earning badges or we're just getting back into this after a long time off, then please definitely let's not add any weight. That super light weight for the clean and jerks and just our fist for the overhead lunge is going to be more than enough for us today. But whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number 1, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number 2, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. Let's make sure we got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number 3, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number 4, music. Super important. We want at least 3 to 4 fight songs that are going to get us through this quick one as efficiently and as focused as possible. So what's on your playlist? You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? This is a 4-round workout. It's easy to lose track of where we are, what's coming up next, what we already did, unless we're a teacher's pet and we came prepared with the workout written down, maybe some type of scorecard to keep track of things. So if you're a teacher's pet, let's go ahead and show that whiteboard on screen, or if you came prepared digitally, however you came prepared, let's show that off. So here we go. Teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this timer, and we're about to do this 4-round workout of 20 calories on the row, 10 kettlebell clean and jerks, and a 25-foot kettlebell overhead lunge. Now, most of us for the row, we're going to be doing the kettlebell sumo deadlift high pulls, and we're actually going to do 40 reps today. So 2 high pulls for every calorie on the row seems to be working out like a good conversion. And so we're going to be doing 40 reps of the kettlebell sumo deadlift high pull at the start of each round to equal the 20 cal row. Now, if we do happen to have a rowing machine, then let's scale our calories accordingly. We're looking for an amount of calories that we can get done in less than 90 seconds. Somewhere between a minute to 90 seconds is the sweet spot there, even in the later rounds as we get tired. So whatever we just got on that 1-minute test, maybe adding a calorie or 2 if appropriate, that should be a pretty good amount for us to do in today's workout. On the clean and jerks, we're doing 5 straight through on one arm before switching and doing 5 on the other arm. We are not adding weight unless we've been earning badges, but let's pick a weight that we can get at least 5 in a row before having to switch. And then on the overhead lunge, if we have 25 feet of space, let's go ahead and lunge that. But if we don't, then we're going to consider 10 lunges, whether in place or whether we're doing step-ups or whatever the case. We're going to consider 10 lunges the equivalent of the 25-foot lunge. And let's definitely make sure that we either reduce the weight as appropriate, whatever our overhead position will allow, and let's make sure that we're doing the version of the lunge that's better for us. So your score is going to be the time it takes you to get through these 4 rounds of 40 kettlebell sumo deadlift high pulls, 10 total kettlebell clean and jerks, 5 on each arm, and then the 10 overhead lunges, 5 with each arm. So if you are good to go, give me a thumbs up over here and we'll get this started. I'm going to give us a 10-second countdown, and then I'm going to highlight twin 1 to get us going. So here we go, guys. 40 kettlebell sumo deadlift high pulls, 10 kettlebell clean and jerks, and then 10 overhead lunges. 4 rounds. Starting in 10 seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off on these sumo deadlift high pulls. Most of us keeping it close to the body, driving with the legs, getting those elbows high and outside. But maybe we have a rowing machine. We are driving with those legs, getting the lean, getting the elbows high and outside. Sounds familiar? How we do anything is how we do everything. And we've also got some hybrid options. We've got Mighty Mouse, who's been stepping it up, doing lots of different options that has gotten her fitness to the next level. And love to see the power of consistency and dedication. But great work here. We're breathing through this, coming up on that 1-minute mark. And so many of us approaching the end of this first row. We believe in starting strong, but starting smart, not coming out too fast, but picking a pace that we can hold on to. And we've got Millicent already done with those high pulls, or moving to a different option. You know what? Yes, that's actually a great example of us doing what we can, making the right choices for us. And we have lots of different options. But twin one, yes, onto these clean and jerks, throwing that back, popping that up to the shoulder, and then boom, punching overhead. We've got Ash as well, popping that up, punching that arm into the ear. Let's make sure we stand up at the top of the motion though, Ash. We are getting that to the shoulder, punching that up, standing to finish each and every time. Pippi joining in on this kettlebell fun with the clean and jerks. And Mighty Mouse on these clean and jerks. But nice work here, guys. Hitting 5 on one side, 5 on the other side. Before moving on to some lunges, we got Ash on these lunges. Another option is just to count 10 walking lunge steps. So maybe we have some space to do some walking lunge, or we can do the lunges in place, whatever's better for us. But we got Pippi counting some walking lunge steps, keeping that arm nice and locked out. Twin one, getting these lunges in. Millicent finishing off the clean and jerks, and then about to do some step ups. We've got Mighty Mouse on these step ups. And so great work. Mighty Mouse has been super consistent, kicking it in gear with some more challenging movement options. And so we are on to round 2 here. And most of us on track to finish within today's target window. And the target window is nothing more than the best way to know if we've made the right choices in today's workout. And how does the target window work? Well, when we first start on this program, we're not adding weights and we're doing some modified movement options. But then as we earn badges, we can start adding some weight and doing some more challenging movement options. But we want to pick the weights and options that allow us to finish within the target window of time. And that is how we know that we got an appropriate challenge for ourselves in today's workout. So most of us deep into the row in round 2. Pippi, Ash finishing that row. Quick sip, right back on to the next thing. Pippi throwing it back, popping, punching. 5 on one side, 5 on the other side on these clean and jerks. Millicent joining in on these clean and jerks. Twin one on these clean and jerks as well. Keeping it close, popping, punching, getting the arm into the ear. And Mighty Mouse finishing off some clean and jerks as well. So much better, Ash finishing the move at the top, standing up. And now going on to some lunges. Keeping that arm locked out. That's what we want to see. Pippi as well, keeping that arm locked out. Stable overhead position. That's what we're looking for. Full range of motion. Millicent on these step ups. Mighty Mouse on these step ups as well. So great work here, guys. Finishing off this round. Pippi moving on to round 3. Millicent finishing off some lunges. Mighty Mouse finishing off some lunges. Ash onto this 3rd round here. And twin 1, finishing off round 2. So we are making our way downtown here, over the halfway mark, into round 3. And this is where we really need to start to dig in and focus. It's easy to lose focus here, as we're not quite in the last round, but we are deep into this workout. We're going to focus on our deep breathing, nasal breathing. In through the nose, but feel the air going into the belly. That's what we want to see. Some nasal breathing, giving our muscles the oxygen they need. And let's remember our technique on the row. As we get tired, it's easy to short the move. We may notice the cal per hour going down, but we want to keep the lean and the right muscle recruitment. So legs, lean, then pull. Hippie onto these clean and jerks here in this 3rd round. Popping, punching. Ash as well onto these clean and jerks. Popping, punching that up. Mighty Mouse, Millicent as well, joining in on these clean and jerks. Just about finishing the clean and jerks. Millicent moving on to the step-ups already. Twin 1 moving a significant weight there. Using all the musculature, using those glutes, using those legs. But there we go. Ash closing out round 3 on these lunges. Pippi as well. Making her way around the corner to close out round 3. And Pippi moving on to round 4, not before a quick sip. But yes, Mighty Mouse closing out round 3. Millicent already on this last round, fast round. Swing 1 on this last lunge in round 3. So this is where we kick it in gear. This is where we dig deep. And we know what to do as we cross that finish line. We hit that buzzer, we yell time, we cheer on our family. And great work, Pippi, keeping that technique, hitting that full lean. Let's get a higher pull, upper chest. Use those legs, use that lean, hit that punch. As we get tired, the better technique is even more important. Legs, lean, pull. Same thing on the high pulls. Legs first, arms finish, elbows high and outside at the top. Millicent already on this last round of clean and jerks here. Throwing it back, popping, punching. But nice work. Let's go, let's go. Pippi done with the row. About to get on these clean and jerks. Popping, punching. Mighty Mouse almost through the clean and jerks, but Millicent almost through the last set of step-ups here for the lunges. We know what to do when we finish. We hit that buzzer, we yell time, we cheer on our family. Ash on these clean and jerks. Twin 1 finishing the high pulls. Millicent across the finish line. But Pippi about to go on this last set of lunges here. Mighty Mouse as well on his last set of step-ups. Pippi coming around the corner on this last set of lunges here. And there goes Pippi across the finish line. Mighty Mouse across the finish line. Ash on this last set of lunges, keep that arm locked out. Switching arms for this last set of lunges here. Swing one, finishing off the last set of clean and jerk. Let's stay motivated. Let's keep moving. Ash across the finish line. Twin one on this last lunge here. Making the turnaround. Big step. Last couple lunges. And there goes twin one across the finish line. Well, that was crazy as always. But now we're at the best part of the workout, which is the cool down stretch. And this stretch is super important to help us fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch we're going to do today is forward fold, which is pretty much like it sounds. We're seated, got the legs out in front of us. We're going to fold forward toward those toes. If we can touch them, hey, let's just get as close as we can if we can't. But we are leaning forward, taking deep breaths here. And while we're here, let's hear some high-low buffalo. And let's hear first from Pippi. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're actually just going to reach down toward those toes and get as close as we can. But what is your high-low buffalo, Pippi?
My high was the row. Continuing to work on that form, but those tips help with, leaning into that, when you're going forward, really does give you a little bit of recovery there. So that really helps. Low would probably be just making sure, especially with my left arm, to keep it super tight there with the form on the overhead lunge. That's something just always I have to work with, especially on that one arm. And buffalo, I don't know, this is really good. Not that I don't like all of them, but I really like this one. I just enjoyed it.
Well, that is good to know that we are making some progress and had a little bit of everything you like all in one. And so good job, Pippi. Let's go ahead and straddle out now. We're going to get those legs to the side, and then we are reaching forward like this. And while we're here, let's hear from Ash. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're actually going to get those arms out to the side and pull back like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Ash?
My high was doing it even though I didn't feel like it. I was on my way home from work today and I was like, man, I do not want to do this workout, but I did it anyway. Pushed through. My low was those lunges in concert with the row. I was starting to feel like a baby giraffe at the end. And my buffalo was, I probably should have gone heavier on the clean and jerks. But I was worried about the lunges at the end, so I don't know. I'll do it different next time.
And hey, that just goes to show we need to convince ourselves beforehand. The decision's already made. If we're trying to decide, the decision's been made. We're going to hit that workout. We never regret the workout we did, but we will probably usually say, hey, why didn't I just push myself to do it? So good job pushing yourself. Glad that you feel accomplished and agreed we can push the weight on that clean and jerks next time. Let's go ahead and hit the butterfly now. We've got the feet together, knees out to the side, and we're going to flap those wings like this. And while we're here, let's hear from twin one. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're going to get those hands on the shoulder blades and pull back like this. But what is your high-low buffalo twin one?
So my high were the lunges, the low were that row, man, sumo deadlift high pull. When you said 40, I was like, oh man. And that killed me for sure. I was tired after that. But anyways, and the buffalo was that I finished because I totally wanted to stop. After like the second or third round, I was like, that's it, man, I'm tired. But I kept hearing you talk through it and talk us through it. So I was like, must keep going. So I finished. I'm happy that I finished.
It is amazing the power of the group, what we can push ourselves to do just because we know we've got some shared suffering going on. And so good job sticking with it and finishing with an awesome time. And let's finish here in the saddle. It's helpful to start in a kneeling position like this. It helps a lot of people to have a towel underneath or between the legs. And we're going to sit back toward those heels. Hey, if we could sit back even more, let's do that as well. But while we're here, let's hear a high-low buffalo from Mighty Mouse. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're going to get those arms up and pull back as far as we can. But what is your high-low buffalo, Mighty Mouse?
My high was the kettlebell clean and jerk. My low was doing the step up only because the last round it was getting kind of tiring. So I was trying to push through that, but other than that, it was a good workout.
Push through it, you did, and we will keep pushing you with some more challenging movement options because you are crushing it. So good job, Mighty Mouse. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. You know what's next. The sweaty selfie. Because does this count if we don't take that selfie? Let's flex on the camera here and let's get this selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And let's put the fists in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps. Fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Big crew.
It grew.
Fit crew. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.